Diablo 4. I'm pretty excited. I played both weekends. I'm pretty hyped. All right. So we'll do the pros and cons at the end. We'll at the beginning here we'll talk about the real hot button stuff. Okay. So the hot take, right? How much did Diablo talk in Diablo 1 and 2 and 3? Like at all? I think he said, "You're about to get fucked, right? I'm gonna kill you." And that was it. He was just this presence, this thing at the end that you fought. Bale didn't talk a lot. He talked some, but he didn't talk a lot. Raziel was gangster, dude. All he said was, "Nothing can stop death." And you're like, okay. He was imposing. He was intimidating. He was reserved. Less is more, you know what I mean? Dude, I don't even know if Lilith is a bad guy. I don't even know if I'm supposed to hate her at this point. She talks so much to mortals. And it's like they're doing a Maleficent, Cruella kind of thing, Like, she's not even bad, she's just misunderstood, Like, oh, she had motivation, don't you see? You'd be the same. It's like, dude, I don't want to empathize with a prime evil. What the fuck? And she doesn't look at all in game like she did in that incredible cinematic you dropped at BlizzCon 2019, whatever that was, right? She bursts through that membrane, that womb, she like comes through and she's like kind of translucent, pulsing with evil blood, and hand sticks through and all that stuff, and she descends down and she's got the fucking flesh cape. Her face was like ultra beautiful, like a statue, like too beautiful, like otherworldly. It was intimidating. Having played D1 and D2 and D3 and all these, I was like, whoa. That's a prime evil. She looks intimidating and imposing, powerful. Looks scary, Look at that cinematic, and then look at her in game. She was bright hellfire red in the cinematic. In the game, she's just white, like just a person, but pale, I guess. I don't understand. Like she's just walking around in the game like a normal, like not a god. She's just walking around, just chatting with people, saying like, "Hey, have you tried fentanyl? Maybe try it. You might like it." And everyone's like, "Oh yeah." Stabbed the priest to death, which was incredible. That whole scene was like, everyone I've seen, myself and my wife included, everyone had the same reaction, just like, holy shit. Like, that was a crazy scene. That was really cool. But Lilith was the least cool part of that whole cinema. She's just like a uber succubus. That's all she looks like. She just looks like a succubus, a little more so. Little more horns. Instead of just two little goat horns, she got a whole horn crown thing going on. And she fucking sashays out of the church with her little tail swinging. Like, what the fuck is this? I don't get it. It's not. I hope this is like a fake out, and like she's not even. It's actually Diablo. And you're like, when you're right about to fight Lilith, he just like rips her in half and punches through her. He's like, "Surprise, bitches!" That'd be something. But like, I don't know, man. I don't get it. I don't think she's scary. I think she talks too much. I just mean she's too human. She's too like not. She just doesn't feel. She doesn't. It does not vibe with the cinematic. In the cinematic, she looked like a god, and I was scared. You know, like excited, scared. And then she's just like, she literally could just be like a minor player. The way she's walking around and talking to people, she's just like disappointing. But hey, at least we know that in an expansion, just like before, there'll be a new prime, someone else. So we got that. Is it going to be pay to win? I don't know. Nobody knows. They say it isn't going to be. I mean, for how long? I don't know. Sometimes companies wait a month or a year before they introduce that crap. I can't know. I hope they don't. I won't care if they do. It's a PvE game. I don't care. I don't care. I have thousands of hours of Warframe. I don't care about pay for convenience even. If they want to sell XP potions, go ahead. Who cares? So what? I mean, I know, like the PvP zone they're talking about, which is basically just a copy of the Dark Zone from Division. Yeah, being higher level quicker would be advantageous there, but I don't know. I just don't care, honestly, about XP potions. That's mainly for alts. You know what I mean? It's not for the initial rush, because I mean, even if they had it in the shop, day zero, and they sell a 10% experience boost. Like, how long does it take you to get to max level? Like it's not a big deal. I really don't care. So that's really it. I mean, right now they say there's not going to be any pay to win, just cosmetic, which is the standard now, and that's fine. They got to pay for live service somehow, because the box cost. They're not, they don't keep selling boxes years and years and years down the road. Which ones they do years down the road aren't enough to pay the operating costs. So they gotta make the money somehow. Not that I'm like simping for Blizzard. I'm not gonna make the case for a $100 billion company to. Well, they gotta get theirs. Like, they got theirs. I know. Roger, I got that. But like, anyway, if it means good seasonal content, I'm okay with it. If they got to rationalize it that way. My bigger problem is with always online. I don't care. I hate it. I hate it. Aspen Gold says to quit bitching about it. It's not going to happen. I'm going to keep bitching about it, because Diablo, dude, I played Diablo 1 when I was like 20. I'm in my 40s. Diablo was. I played the crap out of Diablo 1 on a couch on PlayStation with a friend of mine, and then I no-lifed Diablo 2 for several years, and so it was really like, and D2 had online components to it if you were into dueling, that kind of thing. It was nice for trading. It was cool. I really liked trading in Diablo 2 because there was no marketplace. It was this real sketchy, like, stutter step thing. You would go in a room with you just spam in the lobby. You'd say looking for grandfather or whatever, and I got 20 SOJs or whatever the cost was. I know what it was, Stone of Jordan, or is it Ring of Jordan? Whatever, the currency. It was something of Jordan. But you would looking for grandfather. Aren't we all? And so someone would say, oh, I got one. Join my game. And you join their game, and as it evolved over time, sometimes you'd bring like a third party, an intermediary, to someone to hold the stuff in escrow for you. But a lot of the time it was just you and another person in town, and you will just drop the shit on the ground, and then like, all right, you go, and you would just run, and try not to get scammed. It was. I liked it. It had a this very black market, sketchy feel to it. I thought that was cool. But that was the only thing about D2 that was really like online. That dueling, and I mean, I guess playing with friends, but like, who did that? So I didn't need online for D2. D3, you know, because it was online the entire, like, the first 2 days of launch? I don't remember how long that lasted, that Era 37 crap. That sucked, you know? And it's like, oh, great, so awesome that this is now online. Anyways, I'll move on, but I just want the option. I don't mind it having online. I like the MMO stuff they're building into it now. You know, I like all the MMO stuff they're building into it. I was an MMO player for decades. You know, I'm all about that stuff. But have an option, have a little, you know, so if my internet bill doesn't get paid, or for whatever reason, or just choice, I shouldn't even have to list a reason. If I just want to play offline, I should be able to do that. There's no core functionality of the game that, you know, requires you to be online, or that, you know, can only be played with other people. It's not like that. You're not playing Quake. So that's buy to play. That's the online. The class balance. I mean, you know, I was really hyped for Druid. I played Druid. RIP. I know. I mained Druid in Diablo 2. And, you know, initially, on that first weekend, Barb felt like crap. I'm not going to say it didn't. It was not good. But, you know, I found a build that I enjoyed, which was Hammer of the Ancients and Unearth or Upheaval, whatever, the one that like flings out that cone of dirt, and leap and kick. That was a lot of fun. Just jumping around, kicking people, then, you know, kicking them into a wall, then flinging dirt into them. And my only problem with that, honestly, was with Hammer of the Ancients and Upheaval. It's Upheaval. With Hammer of the Ancients and Upheaval, they're both, well, Upheaval's a conical attack, but they're both area attacks, and I don't know if I just missed this option or I didn't think to look for it, but I found that, like, if I had two enemies kind of with a space in between them, and I tried to click in between them to hit both, it would always, like, auto-target one of them, so it would twist the whole attack, or glitch out and fling it behind me, but I would miss a lot of the time when I was trying to, you know, I need to click through, basically. I need to be able to target the ground, not an actual enemy. I need that as an option, right? Or I'm just not going to play Barb, because those are the two attacks that I really want to use. But other than that, like, the damage aside, Barb felt really great to play. Like, the numbers obviously need to be turned up, but the actual skills and playing it felt really fun. Leap across into a pack, kick them all into a wall, fling a upheaval right into them, then run up and hammer the ancients them down. Excuse me, my nose is running, I don't know why. That was fun. That was super fun. And then I switched over to Sork, and, you know, do I even need to, you know, go into detail? I didn't think Sork was very fun. It's effective. I'm not playing it at release. Not first anyway. You're obviously going to play all of them up to max at some point, but, like, it wasn't fun. I've never enjoyed Sork, even in D2, even in Diablo 1 I didn't play Sork. Well, that's not true. Chain Lightning in D1 was awesome because it, like, radiated out of you. It was dope. But I don't know. I didn't like it in D2. Wizard in D3 was okay, but that was mainly because of that ray of disintegration. That's pretty cool. I just like the sound of it. But anyways, so yeah, Sork is just too boring. It's too, like, base. There's no, I don't mean, when I say complexity, I don't mean technical complexity, because obviously Sork can be built out to all kinds of crazy stuff, but, like, it's just too elemental. It's not, I need second stage elemental, you know? I need lightning. made sand, not dirt. You know, not that Source has dirt. I'm just saying, second tier elemental effects, not first tier. But just, I mean, Frost is awesome. I like freezing stuff. I like shattering stuff. But if you're playing with a Necro, you're screwing them. You're taking away their corpses. I don't know. Source has just always been kind of boring and not. It's just boring to me. I don't know how else to say it. Particularly Hydra, dude. A Hydra playstyle, it's hyper effective. You know, you plop down the damn dragon, turn on your bubbles, walk away, eat a sandwich, look at your second screen, watch a movie. It's friggin' boring. I'm not there to. I don't play the game to just demolish the game. I play the game to have fun. I play the game to come up with interesting, weird, kooky builds. That's what's fun for me. Your mileage may vary. You may just shitting on the game and just breaking it in half and cool. Go with God. I'm happy for you. It's not for me. Rogue. Rogue was really fun. Not just hammering the game, just like that the numbers are great. It was fun. It was a really fun way to play, which I was not anticipating, and I'm pretty excited now. I'm down to I'm down to Druid Barber Rogue for release for my first character. But Rogue was like, I did a shadow setup, with the shadow imbuement explode. That was so cool. That's way more satisfying than corpse explosion. To me, the shadow explosion is so neat. The bones and everything just go flying. It's not just a squish, I was giggling while playing Rogue with the shadow imbue. And it was so friggin' cool, man. You pop shadow imbuement, shadow step into a group, flurry once, dash out, dash back in, pop shadow imbue again, flurry. It was just really, really fun. It was very, in and out, hit, you're just a shadow stepping through steps. Really neat, really fun, cool theme. I liked it. That was really neat. I did not expect to like Rogue nearly as much as I did. It's never been. Well, again, I played a lot of Assassin in D2. To be fair, I didn't play Rogue at all in D3, but I played a lot of Assassin in D2, and that's partially why I'm so hyped for Rogue, because it's not just that the shadow melee stuff was super fun, but it's also got all that range stuff, which I barely dipped into, and it had some traps. It doesn't look like you could do a full old school Trapesin. I saw a smoke grenade, which was cool. I played around with that, and how that, I think that stacked vulnerability or increased, whatever. It had some secondary stat buff thing, which was neat, and it was working. It was effective. So I like smoke bomb. It should be more smoky. You barely see it. You throw it down, and my computer runs that game on max, at 150 frames. So it wasn't that I just didn't have the effect or something like that. But yeah, I saw this. I was enjoying Shadow so much I really didn't look at the other skills that much. I will between now and release. I'll go check out calculators and figure out what I'm going to do. But I really only remember seeing the smoke grenade, and one of the ultimates was some kind of explosive trap, some trap. In D2 on the assassin, if you made a trap assassin, you could have 7 different traps, and just strategium, and just sit back and laugh. And it was a little different from Hydra because you had to do interplay between the traps. Speaking of the amount of, dude, I hate only having 6 skills. I hate it. My fingers can handle more than 4 keys. Dude, if I got the skill, if I want to put 1 skill point in every skill and have a completely just bad build, Let me do it. Let me do it. You know, and I'll wipe out on Act 2. It'll just be totally useless. So what? Let me do it, man. I don't want it. I hate... This is what's keeping me from leaning into Barb, and why I'm probably going to go Rogue or Druid, because Barb is like... I want Charge as my builder, or Bash as my builder. I want Hammer of the Ancients as my secondary. That's Mouse. So that's Mouse 1 and Mouse 2. And then for the 4, I want Leap and Kick. Maybe, I don't recall if there was a separate charge. But if I have to... I don't want to play Barb all passive. If you have to have, like, 3 shouts taking up slots, burning you down to a builder, a spender, and 1 utility skill, which would be Leap, for move, like, it's just... That's boring. I don't want to play an all-passive character. I want active skills. Take the chains off, man. Let me have more than 4... It's not enough skill slots. I need more slots. Like, double the amount of slots. Give me 8. It's frustrating me, because Barb is... That kick, charge, smash was really fun, and I just know... Once you're up there in, Nightmare or Inferno or Torment 80, whatever the hell they're going to call top difficulty, you're going to have your Bard. It's going to be all shouts. It's going to be all armor, all shouts, all passives, and you're just going to left click, right click, left click, right click. That's going to be your whole gameplay. I'm just not doing it. Plus, like, their class mechanic, that weapon expertise, the weapon specialization thing, is boring. It's just it's just passives, and it's gonna piss you off because you're gonna find a unique that you really like, that you want to build around, and it's not gonna be the weapon type that all the rest of your gear is built for, right? Like, you're gonna find, say, the Grandfather, and if it's in this, it probably will be. It always is, I think. You find a Grandfather, you're like, oh, it's time. It's whirlwind time. I don't like whirlwind, but it's whirlwind time. And it's a two-handed sword, and you're like, oh, crap, I just remembered, I've been playing two-handed maces this whole time, and I've built all my character around whatever passive it is that two-handed hammers, I don't remember what it is. But, like, swords are bleed instead, so all your gear is just completely does not mesh with your expertise. I don't know. And I'm putting aside that it's not... it's not as, like, interactive and cool as, like, the sorcerers or the druids is going to be. Like, the swords with the 2 enchant passives that you can hot swap out, that's amazing. That's amazing, man. That's like the one thing that makes me like, maybe sword. Like, it's so flexible, and it's great. But you don't get that with Barb. What you do get, and I understand what you do get is 2 extra imprints, 2 extra legendary effects, and 2-handed legendary effects. Like, I got it. That's going to be mega powerful. Barb is probably going to have the highest damage ceiling. Probably. I'm gonna go on a limb and call that now. But it's going to be boring. It's just going to be like, it's probably going to be 1 button. You're probably going to build up rather to, you've got such good, regeneration and lifesteal, and whatever. It's just it's just whirlwind Barb, just 1 button. And as you whirlwind around, you're freezing and throwing off lightning storms and taunting or scaring, and you teleport to, enemies. It's just going to be blender build, just that's snooze fest. I don't want that. Some people do. Some people will they love that stuff. Right on. Good for you. Enjoy Barbarian. Druid is going to have, I'm pretty sure, just like Sorceress, like their class mechanic, I don't remember what they're called, animal affinity, attunement, whatever the hell's, If you noticed at the bottom of that screen, it said once you've unlocked all of them, you'll be able to pick 2, right? So it's basically like the source and the enchants. So that's exciting. So all right, so let me get to Druid, since I mentioned it a bunch. I've already talked about Barb, Rogue, and Source. Druid obviously needs the damage. See, okay, they're probably balancing for endgame, right? Like that's probably why Barb and Druid are so low. I bet at the end game they're monsters. They're probably balanced for endgame damage, and they're like, they can't figure out a way mathematically to have it work at one end and the other without becoming super OP. But for right now, from what we have to go on, level 25, Druid needs the damage numbers turned up just across the board on all the skills. Generally, okay, I say that, but it's now been, what's today? Wednesday. It's now been 3 days since the end of second beta weekend, and videos and builds are starting to filter out. That there's that one Asmongold watched that one barbarian dude, and then he did it himself of spinning down Butcher, no problem. Well, I don't know if y'all saw, but this one guy made a Druid build that was basically doing the same thing. He had 3 werewolf companions instead of 2 normal dogs. He had some legendary effect that turns the normal dog companions into werewolf companions. They look just like you in werewolf form. And then he had another legendary that adds a 3rd pet, so he had 3 werewolves. And then then he had like 3 other legendary effects that all stacked up into making it just retardo damage. Like it was so. There are going to be builds for every class. This is why I say that I think they have it balanced for endgame, because it's not that like the numbers are too low. It's that no, you just need endgame gear. And I agree that the game should be fun at all levels. I'm not arguing that. I agree. But whatever. I'm not paid for this crap. I'm not a game designer. I can't know what's going on and what's waiting for us. I know I'm excited. So, anyways, on Druid specifically, numbers and efficiency aside, I liked it. I had a lot of fun, with varying degrees of fun. The Earth, like the builders, you had the two feral skills, right? You had the Baron Werewolf. I'm really kind of sad, honestly. That was my jam. I mostly did feral. I'm saying feral. I mostly did shape-shifting Druid in D2, and it's. I think they feel the lamest, the most boring right now. So whatever. Their builders are just they're smacks. Wind Shear is great. Cuts through enemies, builds up spirit fast. Wind Shear is awesome. It's a great builder. Is it the lightning one? What am I? It's the 2 animals, and then something, and then Windlash, and then the stone one. The stone builder sucks. It's fine. It's like it's not numbers wise. I mean, compared to the others, it's equally shitty. But the graphic is just a little spike coming up. You can't even see it. Like you can't, if you're doing it into a pack, you just can't even see it. Your guy's just sitting there doing this, and you're like, you're like, okay, I'm casting on something. But the effect is way too small, and it's brown, and it's too hard to see. But it's fast, and it was fun. What was the third? It's like, I want to say Stormlash, but that was the Sorcerer one, wasn't it? No, the Stormlash. No, Stormlash was the druid. That one. Yeah, and you could chain it to 5 enemies, but it lost 20% damage per hop, so the last enemy's getting hit with 0? I don't know if my math checks out. I don't know if it's half of half every time, so the final hit is only, I don't know what. I don't know. I'm a truck driver, not a mathlete. That was a rainbow A-Team van. That was a rainbow an A-Team van, like with the spoiler on the back. But instead of black and red, it was gay. The black was white, and then it was yellow, purple, building up, and on the A-Team normal, the red stripe was blue, and then the other side of the rainbow on the other. The gay team van. That's what it is. That's what that person calls it. They call it the gay team van. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I wish I got that on camera. Holy crap. Somewhere here in rural Ohio, someone made... That was incredible. It's too hot. Yeah, the other druid skills, I know I didn't go blow by blow on the other classes, but I really like druid. Traditionally. We'll see. Plus I think druid needs the most feedback, obviously. The spenders were the storm. That's what it was. So the way I play druid, because I dipped in and out of werewolf and bear, and I tried mixing them in to other stuff, but I just wasn't enjoying it. They just weren't. I mean, even rabies, which was like, I played the crap out of rabies werewolf in D2, and I didn't. To be fair, I didn't get that talent that speeds up the spread of it by 100%. I didn't get that yet, or get it. That might have made a difference, but it didn't seem to have the impact, which I suppose is just God. I pulled my back getting out of my car this morning. I hate being old. Dude, I was fine. I got 8.5 hours of sleep last night. I ate good. I'm healthy, you know. And besides my drinking and smoking and whoring. I just stepped out of my car this morning wrongly. And just right at the start of the shift. So now every hard bump is just stabbing me. Ugh. That's why I'm sweating. But yeah, so I tried. I couldn't get a feral build like working. Not that it was effective. I got it to effective. I tanked Dead Mother. I just slapped the shit out of her. You know. And halfway through the fight, I just looked at her name. I was like, "Oh, that's Dead Mother." I've seen people complain about it. She just slept through it. So Bear is pretty tanky. It can be very tough, but it was just super boring. Just super duper boring. So I tried the companion stuff. And again, this might just be that it's just the numbers just need to be punched up. But the crows, were they even doing damage? I don't know. I never saw them kill a thing. I put it down because I had the skill, and there were monsters there. I couldn't speak to its effectiveness. That's what it needs. It needs some kind of visual feedback. Like when crows get a kill, a crow should fly off, or they should like get a visual, not an actual attack, but like a visual speed boost. They should spin faster or glow every time they get a kill. That would be really cool. Also, the passive of them flying around, supposedly the passive is one crow will periodically randomly strike a nearby enemy. I don't think I ever saw that. Like they just don't, you know, it's not there enough. And I mean visually. I don't even mean like it should attack more. I just you have the skill and like you don't even you barely see them. You don't even notice them. They're it. You can increase to 2. Whoopee. You know, I want 30 crows. I want in D3. My favorite character is Witch Doctor. I know people probably hate that. Witch Doctor is probably the reason most people say D3 was too cartoony. I couldn't get into it. Whatever. Dude, I love Witch Doctor so much. Blah blah bomb. And just throwing jars of spiders and plagues of toads and bats and shit like it. That's so fun. I love Witch Doctor. He does his little dance while he's, shooting the bats out. I love Witch Doctor. Oh man, I don't care. I'm telling you, as a person who played from D1, not every single aspect of the game needs to be grimdark. I understand a Witch Doctor would, stand out, wouldn't really fit, but I don't know. I believe in your artist's Blizzard. I think you can do it. Just make it grim. Whatever. Getting off track. So the druid. What I just did so yeah, I couldn't get the companions. Like I said, the one crazy build I saw was a companion build, so I know it's possible, but I couldn't get them to do anything effective or make it worth my while to do them. So then all that's left, if you're not into the shape-shifting and the companions aren't working for you, you go to lightning and earth, the wind and earth, right? And that was really fun. I really liked that. Swapping between wind shear and stormlash, that I found them both effective. Wind shear, throw that in there. You're throwing a thunderstorm above them, and I had you got a passive for lightning strikes periodically happen, and then I got a legendary effect that was you have a chance to on hit, you have a chance to call down random lightning strikes on nearby objects, something like that. And I don't remember exactly, but I was and throw in Cataclysm, dude. I was getting to the point where it was just Lightning City. I was just a storm. I was just melting everything. It worked really, really well. It shredded. It was not one of these breakthrough builds like Nick 2's, twirling blades, and it wasn't that companion. It wasn't like that where I was just gutting down the a Java in friggin' 10 seconds. It wasn't that, but I was shredding normal and elite mobs. I was running through, just blasting down, and that was cool. And not just because it was effective, but because the lightning effect on that core skill, lightning storm or whatever, I don't remember exactly what it's called, but the effect on it is great. The lightning looks jagged, and it's got good visual feedback and good sound, and it's just felt like I was calling a storm. It's just a satisfying skill to use. And the earth skill, the earth builder, like I said, is kind of boring. But landslide, that's fun, and it mobilizes like it should, it looks like it should because it's pinchering. Does good damage, and felt good. Felt tough. I was just pulling up. That was cool. I liked landslide a lot. I tried the Dire Bear. The Bear Ultimate was. If you didn't tell me it was a different skill from normal Bear, I wouldn't have even known. That was kind of disappointing. I think I'm going to go Rogue. I think that's really what it boils down to. I want to play Druid. I'm excited about passives, about 2 animal aspects being able to switch. I think it's going to be great. We'll see. What adjustments they come out with, if any. I think that's where I'm at. I think if between now and June they come out and say something to the effect of, we're not changing shit, just wait till endgame, you'll see. If they do that, I'm probably going to go Rogue, because I really, 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 really enjoyed Rogue. And Rogue has all the bow skills and trap skills and shadow skills and poison skills and stuff. So there's enough there for me to like sink my teeth into. And you can't really can't dual spec. You gotta pick. It's gonna aggravate. What the hell is that? Oh, this trash can. So probably Rogue. Necro, I didn't play that much. I played a lot of Necro in D2. I feel like, this is weird to say, but I feel like I've outgrown Necro. It's kind of, it's like, because like all the Poison and Bone stuff has never really had like a big identity to it. You know, Necro's really kind of, it's kind of a one-note joke, you know? It's like it's corpse explosion and then there's everything else. And you could be a Golemancer, and that's boring. I don't like just one big pet. I like lots of pets. That's just a personal thing. I'm sure plenty of people love Golemancer. And, you know, we'll see how fun it is. I don't know. It feels too. I don't know. It's there's not enough complexity to it for me, I guess. It's not even complexity. It's just variety. Necro always feels the same, even if I'm going super into blood or super into bone, which are different things. It still all feels the same. Necro just always feels like Necro, and I loved Necro in D2. Played it so much, but now it's just not appealing to me. Plus, my wife wants to play Necro. And 2 Necros would be dumb. So, that's the classes, right? I don't really have much to say on Necro. It's super effective right now. I'll warn you, if this is the first Diablo you've ever played, late game, higher difficulties, them skellies ain't gonna do shit. They're gonna get obliterated. Any kind of enemy that has a cleave is just gonna, your whole army's gonna get wiped out. I'm telling you now. That's how it has always been. So, yeah, so that's, alright. So that was pay to win, offline, classes. So just, alright, general pros and cons, I guess, about the game itself. My overall impression is I'm just ultra excited. I loved it. I'm really, really hyped. We'll do this by like categories. So the graphics, obviously, are incredible. The game looks just gorgeous. It's so nice. The snow, walking in the snow, leaving permanent snow. It's a little thing, but I've been gaming for almost 40 years. You know, since I was a wee lad on the Atari 2600, and it's the best snow I've ever seen. Maybe a Red Dead's didn't backfill, but normally snow in games backfills. Like you can stand there and watch your trail like worm itself back up to your feet. But all right, so the snow's good. The art design is fantastic. It feels very dark. And it's even though it's all like we've only seen parts of Act 1, and is the whole map is the whole map that we see there, is that the whole game, or is that just Act 1 and we've only seen parts of Act 1? Because if that's the whole game, that's a little concerning. That's a little small. And not SMOL, small. But we'll see how dense it is, I guess. Maybe there's some areas with more verticality. Anyways, even in Act 1, what I'm getting at is, even in Act 1, it felt geographically diverse. right? Like it's much more. You know, what's this person doing? It's snowy up top and foresty down below, right? And it feels like dark forest, like Grimm's fairy tale forest. I liked it. Old, gnarled wood and all that kind of stuff. It's very on brand, but very well made. It's very high fidelity. Everywhere I never saw a single graphic glitch, I'll tell you that. I never saw a single texture out of place. Just bravo. Great job. The world looks outstanding. I will say, this is kind of a subcategory. The weapon effects, like the literal effects of like a fireball and that kind of thing, I think are underwhelming. I think they're kind of not great, honestly. The graphics engine is good. The effects engine is not. I don't know. I've been playing D3 ever since, last couple nights with my wife, and they look the same. The effects. The world is noticeably sharper and looks better. The effects look the same or worse in some situations. Like chain lightning, Source's chain lightning in 4 here. Not great. Are we still recording? We are. All right. That would have sucked. So I don't really have much else to say on that. I just think that the effects are not good. I think they need to be punched up. I think they're more impactful, a little more vibrant. They'd stand out. The world is so dark. The sound, the music and sound. The music is excellent, top tier, just like always. D's always had good music. Man, is it good. In Kjovestad, the main hub town, I guess. I mean, yeah, the cathedral's there. The main town, Kjovestad, has this string quartet action going on. It's just lovely. Hey, thank you, sir. It's just really, really nice. So A+ on the music. The score, really good. There should be more. Excuse me. It's probably being worked on, but there needs to be more boss music. I feel like a lot of the times when I fought bosses, the music didn't even change. I could just be imagining that, or it just wasn't that. It wasn't that memorable. So I don't know about that. The sound effects were really good. Corpse Explosion's got a good squishy crunch to it. All those kind of things. The thunder on all the various lightning storms is pretty good. I'm trying to think if there was any like noteworthy sound that I'm forgetting. Nothing's coming to mind. So that's graphics and sound. The UI is fine. What do you I've seen a lot of people complain about the UI. The UI is fine. It's fine to good, and everything was perfectly legible. Two-hand texting. Just driving down the road like this. Text and drive, kids. And a Cadillac, too. The UI is fine. Knock it off. There's one issue, and it's, no, there's two issues. The overlay. Where the hell is the overlay? This is insane. It's ridiculous. It's unacceptable. I don't know why it's not in there yet. It fucking better be there at release. Dude, having to switch in and out of the map, particularly if you're gonna have us backtracking through the goddamn dungeons, need the overlay there. better be an overlay. Or so help me, I will turn this truck around. Enough said on that. I said overlay. You hit tab, right? And there, you hit W. I don't know what it is on controller. Tab to go into the map, and then W to bring up the zone rewards. I feel like that should be in Y with the achievements. With the those two categories. Having the rewards there off the map was, I had to hunt for that. I'd seen it once because it prompted when I got to, stage 1, whatever, wrapped up. And then, later on I was looking for it. And I couldn't find it. It took me like 5 minutes. I was like, where the hell is this? I know I saw it. It being linked off the map is kind of strange. Even though I understand it's tied to map completion. It's logical, and I'll probably never forget it again. But it was initially confusing. It's a minor issue. It is a minor issue. It's not a big deal. But the UI otherwise was perfectly legible. Playing on a TV from 8 feet away. It was completely fine. Very crisp. No problem. Nothing confusing about it. I don't want to scroll on items. Get rid of that. I don't care if it's edge to edge of the screen and you have to scale it. I don't care. I do not want to scroll on item descriptions. That is a no-go. No, sir. Get rid of that immediately. I watched Ziz, or one of the other guys mentioned that you should be able to see stats on items on the ground. I don't remember that being a thing, but I think he showed footage of D3, and it was I don't know. I don't recall that ever being a thing. That would be nice. I don't know. I go back and forth on that. Like, I suppose if you could mouse over and then hold shift to see it, that would work. But if it just did it on mouse over, that could in the middle of a fight, that could obscure stuff. So I don't know how into that I am. I don't think that's necessary. I just want filters in my inventory. Just don't show whatever I want when I let me set visibility filters. Because I can adjust. I understand. Later on, you'll be like, oh no, you actually do need to farm blues because they salvage into whatever, and that's fine. That's fine. But just give me filters that I can change easily on the fly. That's all I want. The combat feels great. The interaction didn't feel any kind of delay. I didn't in any aspect, switching stuff or combat feels really good, really crisp, meaty, not light. Feels impactful, feels good. I like the combat. The dungeons do need. Sorry, Bliss, they do. I know you gotta you're like, no, wait till you see the rest of the game. No, it's not the point. The point is that there's clear dungeon, pull 2 levers, fight boss is not interesting or fun. It's why even have the levers? It's just pick up item, place on pedestal, fight boss. It's not fun. It's not. It's not interesting. There's nothing to it. There's no. I'm not saying I should have to solve a Sudoku puzzle to open up the boss door, but put a gimmick. People say gimmicky like it's a it's a bad thing. No, I want gimmicks. Be like, oh, that's neat. I had to in this one. I had to tap A, enough to get these water wheels around to a certain thing, and then I had to spell, Diablo, on 5 tumblers, whatever. Some, and it's, I don't know. Again, I'm not a game designer. I'm not paid for this shit. You are. You fucking figure it out. Come up with something fun and interesting. It doesn't have to be unique. It doesn't have to be something that's never been done before. Asmongold said it, perfectly. He said, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, just make a better wheel. I don't need you to invent smell-o-vision and have me or have me type Morse code out on the keyboard. It doesn't have to be something stupid that's new just for the sake of being new, but have just something new and interesting. So it's not, I don't know why this has to be explained, and I don't know why everyone is saying the exact same thing. And actually, no, I do know why, because there's only one reason why you can get to a situation where everyone in the community is asking for something, and the dev is still just like, no. It's because someone up high, it's their baby, It's some ideological thing. Like maybe it's the lead dev, right? The creative director, whatever. He probably has it's just this philosophical stance. He's like, no, dungeons should be X, Y, and Z because A, B, C. And he's like, everyone who disagrees with me is wrong and stupid, and I don't care. It's my game. It's not your fucking game, dude. It's not. It's Blizzard's game. And Blizzard is a public company, which means it's our game, comrade. Dude, just make something, man. The dungeons are friggin' boring. It's enough of that. Anyways, the bosses are... Some are alright, some aren't. They're nothing blowing my socks off yet. I know it's Act 1. I'm just Act 1 should Act 2. Every act it's only Act 1 excuse only goes so far. It doesn't cover every aspect of the game. There should be some of your most interesting bosses should be early on to really hook the player. I still remember in D3, when you got down to the bottom of, is it Luca Lane or, the desert city? In 3, I don't remember if that was it. Anyways, where you fight, the Fat Lord. What's he? It doesn't matter. What I remember were those pools of, black, red, iridescent evil blood slowly filling up the floor. That was awesome. That's memorable. Do shit like that. I can't explain what that is, but I'm telling, again, you're the game designer. You figure it out. I still remember that 10 years later, how cool and awesome that was. How, it gives you a sense of urgency, just basic don't stand in the fire. Impossible not to understand immediately from looking at it. It was brilliant design, and it looked cool, and it looked evil, and it was on. Man, those things were so cool. All right, 5 minutes left. I'm gonna give you my hot take, and then we'll call this a video. So again, just to sum up, overall impression, I'm very excited. I had a lot of fun. I can't wait to, play this for a couple of years. I don't have a lot of time, so a couple of years is not, thousands of hours. It's just hundreds of hours for me. Look forward to at least. All right, almost at an hour, exactly. So there we go. That's my thoughts on Diablo.